Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am the Omni viewer, and I put off reporting on this when it first appeared online because it was one of those things where I looked at it and I thought, I'm not entirely sure it's real. It seemed like something that was made up, someone did a Photoshop job and put it out there and people are just running with it. But I've been looking around, it seems that official sources are reporting on it, looks legitimate, so maybe this is real after all. What is this, you might be asking? Well, the OP, the current company that owns Monopoly, is partnering with Toho to make Godzilla Monopoly. It was a long time coming, don't you think? This is something I'm sure a lot of fans have been waiting for because everything has a Monopoly variant these days. Star Wars Monopoly, Harry Potter Monopoly, Disney Monopoly. Boy, does that one carry a different connotation these days. My Little Pony Monopoly, Star Trek Monopoly. Every state in the Union has a Monopoly variant. Maine Monopoly, New Hampshire Monopoly, Alaska Monopoly, you name it. But there hasn't been a Godzilla Monopoly yet, and this is largely because of, well, licensing issues. But now we're getting one because of Toho's Godzilla Genesis thing, where they're pushing Godzilla in all these different regions. They have different plans for every region on the globe. So, now we're finally getting Godzilla Monopoly. We don't really have any images other than what the box art will look like. And it features, as you can see, the 1984 version of Godzilla, as seen on the movie poster. We do have a description of what will be inside, and it's all the sort of things you would expect to see from a Monopoly game. It's got all the cards, it's got all the money, it's got all the hotels and stuff repurposed to be Godzilla themed. The tokens, however, the pieces you actually play as, will be Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, Minilla, Mechagodzilla, and Rodan. But we don't know what variations of those characters they will be. I highly doubt they're going with the legendary designs, partly because there's no legendary design for Minilla, or, well, let's not get into those spoilers. But anyway, I'm also thinking it probably won't be the legendary designs because the box art shows a very clear original Japanese Godzilla. Based on that, I'm guessing they might be skewing towards the Heisei designs, maybe with a couple of Showa designs thrown in. But I don't know. I don't think anyone outside of the company making this game actually knows. So, we will see. Otherwise, it's pretty much a Monopoly game that you would expect it to be, just with a Godzilla skin. And even though I don't think anyone in the world actually enjoys playing Monopoly, I'm sure that there are many collectors out there who will probably be picking this up all the same. But that's not all. They're also making Godzilla Jenga. And this one I can at least see a bit of a thematic connection to, because Godzilla does have a habit of knocking over towers. In this case, the blocks have been redesigned so that when you put them all together, they look kind of like a skyscraper, but there's also a little Godzilla element that's been added to it. There's a little Godzilla die, and this Godzilla standee with a little base that comes with it. Basically, based on what I understand, the concept is that you roll the die, and whatever it says, that's how close Godzilla is getting to the building. And at a certain point, the game ends and Godzilla knocks it over, and whoever, I guess, went the longest. You know, I'm not entirely sure how this is going to work, but again, collector's item right here, so I'm sure people are going to pick it up regardless. So we're finally getting some Godzilla board games over here in America. Not what I think anyone was expecting, though. I'm personally looking forward to seeing if they do something like Godzilla Risk, or maybe just a purely Godzilla-themed board game, kind of like you've seen other franchises get over here. Like, there's a Universal Monsters game called Horrified that is not a variant of a pre-existing game, but just a pure Universal Monsters game where you can put all the monsters together and you play as the experts who are trying to save a village that's being overrun by them. I'd kind of like to see a Godzilla game like that, and maybe we'll get one if this goes well. Yeah, I know Godzilla Kaiju World Wars was a thing, but it's been years since that game was released and it never really took off. Having just checked on Amazon, I think it may also be out of print. So, a new game like that, I'd be very happy with. But, in the lack of that, at least we have some more collector's items for the really devoted among us. So, there you have it. These games, or at least Godzilla Monopoly, will be available in the spring. So, keep your eyes open. Until such time as we meet again, this is the Omni Viewer signing off. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it as well as subscribe to the channel for more content of a similar nature. Also, check the description for links to our Twitter, DeviantArt, and Patreon pages, as well as the Amazon link for the novel Operation Red Dragon: The Daikaiju Wars Part 1, penned by yours truly. Thank you all, and we appreciate your support.